Did Frank Morris and the Anglin brothers survive Alcatraz? The full untold story. Have you ever heard of the night that changed the history of American prisons forever? On June 11th, 1962, three men vanished from Alcatraz, one of the most secure and feared prisons in the United States. Their names? Frank Morris, Clarence Anglin, and John Anglin. Their escape was daring, meticulous, and, for decades, utterly mysterious. Today, we dive deep into the full story and explore the question that still haunts historians. Did they survive? Before we begin, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. You don't want to miss any of the mysteries and untold stories we uncover here every week. Alcatraz, often called the Rock, sits alone in the middle of San Francisco Bay. Surrounded by cold waters, strong currents, and some of the strictest guards in the country, it was designed to break the spirit of anyone who dared to step foot inside. Every cell was steel-barred, every corridor watched, and every attempt to escape considered nearly impossible. But Frank Morris wasn't an ordinary inmate. Born in 1926, Morris had a troubled childhood but a brilliant mind. He struggled in traditional schooling, but excelled in problem-solving. He was calm under pressure, intelligent, and extremely patient, qualities that would make him the perfect mastermind for one of the most daring escapes in history. The Anglin brothers, Clarence and John, were two siblings with a history of small crimes and brushes with the law. When they ended up in Alcatraz, they met Frank Morris together. They formed an unlikely alliance. They shared a common goal: freedom. And for them, failure was not an option. Their plan began months in advance. Each night, they would use makeshift tools, spoons, metal files, and improvised hammers to dig through the walls of their cells. The work was painstakingly slow. They had to be careful not to make a sound that could alert the guards. It took weeks of patience, precision, and relentless effort. To cover their absence, they made clever dummies from paper, cardboard, and even real hair. These dummy heads were placed in their beds so the guards would think they were sleeping. The trick worked for weeks. Every morning, the guards saw sleeping prisoners and didn't suspect a thing. And then there was the biggest obstacle: the waters of San Francisco Bay. Ice cold and unpredictable, the currents alone could have ended their lives in minutes, but they prepared meticulously. Using raincoats and other materials, they constructed a small, inflatable raft designed to carry them safely across the bay. On the night of June 11th, 1962, they executed their plan. In complete silence, they climbed out of their cells, through the utility corridors, and finally launched their raft into the dark waters. After that night, they disappeared completely. No one saw them again, and their fate remains one of the greatest mysteries in American history. The morning after, panic swept the island. Guards discovered the empty cells, and the largest manhunt in American history began. Boats, helicopters, and divers scoured every inch of the bay. Newspapers ran headlines like, "Three men vanish from Alcatraz, an impossible escape stuns nation." Yet no trace of the escapees was ever found. The FBI quickly assumed the escapees had drowned. The waters were cold, the currents strong, and the chance of survival slim. But the story didn't end there. Over the years, tantalizing clues emerged suggesting they might have survived. In the 1970s and 1980s, letters allegedly from one of the Anglin brothers surfaced. These letters hinted that at least one of them had lived beyond Alcatraz, possibly in the southern United States, or even as far as Brazil. Witnesses claimed to have seen men matching their descriptions in various locations. Family photos and accounts added fuel to the speculation. Historians and investigators remained divided. Some believe the men drowned, as the FBI concluded. Others think they escaped successfully and lived new lives under assumed identities. The mystery has inspired countless documentaries, books, and even Hollywood movies. What makes this story truly captivating is not just the escape itself, but the human ingenuity behind it. Frank Morris and the Anglin brothers demonstrated extraordinary intelligence, patience, and courage. They turned despair into hope and confinement into opportunity. Their story is a testament to the human spirit's drive for freedom. Now we turn to you, the viewer. What do you think happened? Did they survive, Or did the bay claim them forever? Would you have had the courage and patience to attempt such a daring escape? Comment below and share your thoughts. If you enjoy stories like this, click the like button and subscribe to our channel. Turn on notifications to stay updated with more incredible mysteries from history. And remember, the legend of Alcatraz is more than a story. It's a puzzle, a thriller, and a lesson about courage, cleverness, and the enduring power of the human spirit. Until we find definitive answers, Frank Morris and the Anglin brothers will continue to haunt the history of Alcatraz, challenging our imagination and daring us to wonder. Could anyone really escape the rock?